Ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing on this fine Sunday afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are? We have got an incredible match for you here on Mario Kart Central today. We are going to be looking into the Mario Kart Universal Division 1 Semifinals. On one of the bracket sides, we're going to be looking at the match between SecretX versus Zealous. My name is Awoken, and I'm joined today by my friend Royal. How you doing?
Everybody, welcome back. We have some pretty exciting matches today. We have SecretX versus Zealous.
Yeah, and here we're going to be looking into a long-time rivalry between these two teams and the members of said teams, and it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, who's going to be advancing to the finals, where on the other side of the bracket, who's on the other side of the bracket? I know Frenzy is one of the teams. Who's the other one that they're going to be playing against? I can go and check right now really quickly, unless you know that.
No, sorry.
Let me see. It's the other side.
At ZY against Bree.
Against Jean Messiah. All right, so the winner of that match is going to be taking on the winner of this match that we will be watching right now. And if we'd like to have a look at who is going to be playing today, if you'd like to show us, Mist. So, with a lineup for SecretX, we're looking at Rhys, Varo, Drac, Sketch, Tynan, and Mike. And on the side of Zealous, we have Toad, Dax, Neo, Swift, Dam, and Demon. Very strong lineups from both teams, and definitely looking to put on a good show today.
I think this is probably the strongest Zealous lineup they can put together, so definitely really good to see that happen.
For sure.
I heard that Zealous, they pulled a Clippers, and they kind of threw the last couple games of the season, so they could get SecretX in round one.
I see. I was not aware of that, but if they think that
I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, we don't know if that's true, but if they do believe that is a good draw for them, then we'll see how it ends up panning out. And I think things are going to be getting started relatively soon if we can have a look at how close the room is to gathering. Oh, the room is fully gathered. We are about to head right into race 1.
Yeah, could be a pretty exciting game. We see Wildwoods and Bone Dry Dudes coming out. Wildwoods definitely an underrated pick, not something you see very often.
I agree. Now going into this, obviously, you were talking about, the rumor going around that maybe this is kind of the match that Zealous was looking for in round 1 to play against SecretX. Do you think that either team really has the advantage here? Do you think that there's someone you're expecting to go to the finals, Royal?
No, I don't know. I think that, excuse me, I think that it's pretty even match all around. Obviously both these teams are here for a reason.
Of course.
So I think it could really go either way, but I think
Yeah.
both teams are pretty motivated because neither of them really want to lose, right? Like, Zealous doesn't want to lose after they kind of chose to have SecretX be their opponent today, and SecretX doesn't want to lose, so they can show that choosing them was a mistake.
For sure, yeah. And something interesting to note, we did kind of see it earlier from the lineup graphic, is that both of our POVs are going to be from the team of SX. Unfortunately, we couldn't see anybody from Zealous, but we're going to be looking into Rhys, and I think also Varo was the second one, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that's correct.
Alright, so those are the two people that we are going to be viewing the gameplay of. Rhys, obviously an inward player, and one of, if not the best inward player in the game at the moment. So, definitely a lot to live up to for him. And he's going to be starting the Sunshine Airport race in the back.
Yeah, most people know Rhys from Lounge, obviously a top Mogi player. He's also pretty good in 6v6, right? But something to remember is that 6v6 and Mogi aren't the same. So Rhys is going to have to play a little bit differently here if he wants to help his team.
That is true, yeah. And what we see at the moment is Zealous holding down first and fourth. We have the 2-3 from SecretX putting the pressure on. I think that's a Shroom that Mike is holding. And we see a bit of aggressive play from, I believe, Swift, who's in first. Yeah, trying to back Mike there. And he's going to be looking to take out that 2-3 so that he no longer has pressure on him. But that blue is going to be very, very detrimental so long as he cannot dodge it.
Looks like Toad. I don't know how he managed to avoid that right there. We just see a bunch of Zealous right behind Varo. He's going to spam the horn. Pretty good play.
It's both of them, yeah.
No, it looks like they actually made it through.
Yeah.
You know, way back when... Oh, wow, okay. 4 reds. Yeah, way back when, this was called Zealous Airport, so...
Yeah, of course. And this was actually, I think, Sketch's indiv pick. But you see a shot from Rhys. We're gonna probably...
Yeah.
Yep, there's the target shock.
Shock right when Mike reaches the end right there. Gets a bomb, see what he can do with this. Maybe he wants to try and hit Toad. No, okay.
He's gonna end up in 6th. We didn't really catch much of a glimpse of what the top spots look like, but it's mostly SecretX. It's gonna be a 1-3-4-6-8 there, and Rhys holding down the shock and holding down that 12th for them. So that's gonna be the start that they are looking for.
Yeah, that was a pretty good race overall for SecretX. That shock definitely swayed things in their favor. We saw quite a few Zealous players at the top right there, but we saw Mike able to hold down first, and so that shock really benefited him since he was able to avoid the target shock.
Of course, yeah. Really well done by Rhys pulling the shock, and really well done by the entirety of SecretX for pulling off that winning race, and they're going to jump out to an early lead of +12. They went right into their They went right into their water park pick, but unfortunately for them, they will not be seeing that just yet.
Good.
This Bone Dry Dunes is going to be
Park.
Yeah. Water Park is a pretty prominent SX pick. They have a lot of members that like driving it, especially their inwards.
It's Mike's favorite track, and he got first, so...
Yeah. And also they have the inwards in the back, like Rhys and whatnot, but... I think Rhys is the only inward in this current SecretX lineup, although I do believe that they have a couple of others on their lineup. We're going to be seeing Varo trying to navigate his way through this incredibly tight pack at the moment. Able to snag the doubles, so that's very good for him, and gets a pretty ideal pull. No defense, but 2 Shrooms is definitely going to be helpful.
Just be careful of this green. I can't believe it didn't hit anyone.
Yeah.
So it looks like Varo's going to be able to take the cover here, being first.
Yeah,
okay, using both Shrooms.
Using both Shrooms, but the pack has kind of spaced out. These top 3 are still very close together. That red is not going to connect from Tynan, so we still have Dayam putting on the pressure in there. As Varo's going to go for the trail, is going to miss, and that boomerang is going to come in from Toad and leave a top 2 for Zealous.
Oh, the blue coming in right away, but now Varo's in, quite frankly, a terrible position, right? He is in 9th and he only has, like, 2 points.
Yeah. Rhys, on the other hand, getting bombed, but up until then, has more coins than Varo did in that same spot, and unfortunately, with only triple Shrooms in the red, is not really going to be able to accomplish much unless he goes back into 9th and goes for... Yeah, I agree with that play.
Yeah, and right now I'm pretty curious to see who's in top 2, right? Because we saw a bunch of SecretX names in the middle.
Yeah.
But I think it's a Zealous bottom 2 right now.
Yeah, we did see once Varo was killed out by the boomerang and everything else, we did see a couple of Zealous members, I think Toad and Dayam, end up in 1st and 2nd respectively. So it's a question of did they hold those spots or did something else happen while we were not able to have a good view of the front.
This might be like a top 4 for Zealous. They might have just farmed.
Yeah, I see a lot of SecretX in the middle here.
I think there's going to be a bottom 2 maybe from Zealous, but...
Dax is right here, so...
Okay, wow.
Yeah, a top 4, 7-12. So Zealous is going to take back the lead. That was probably about a +20 for them if I had to guess, but... Definitely the response that they wanted after losing on a track that they feel so confident about, considering their history as a clan.
Yeah, was a really good race for Zealous.
Yeah. And we're gonna very soon see the results of said race. And yeah, it is going to be a plus 24 in the favor of Zealous. So the plus 12 lead has perfectly evenly swung over to Zealous's favor. And SecretX's response is N64 Rainbow Road, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, the track is definitely one that has gained quite a bit of popularity lately.
For bottom spots, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still see this as probably the best bottom 6 track in the game. Obviously, this isn't a bottom 6 situation, but when the other team has top 4 and, you know, all of your members are starting out with a ton of coins, it's ideal. However, fortunately for Zealous, they're going to be lending their Wario Stadium pick, and those 4 wigglers in the front are going to have a field day.
Yeah, real ones know that I pioneered the N64 Rainbow pick. It was a mistake. I should never have done that.
That is that is something that I do remember seeing BL pick a lot, so we're gonna have a look at what Rhys opts to do in this frankly awkward situation, as you know, this Yoshi bike isn't quite as capable of all the fancy stress that all these wigglers and scooties are doing.
Yeah,
still managing to make his way into the middle of the pack though.
We see 3, 4, 5 from SX. Sketch has to be careful. Oh, that actually might be like a top 2, top 3 now.
Yeah.
They were able to red him out at first.
Yeah.
And
we
now...
don't quite know where Mike is, but okay, Mike is gone. That looks like Neo ended up in second after that interaction, but as I was about to mention, SecretX, while having only been an established clan for a short period of time, they already have established themselves a history on this track after what they were able to do in the finals of, I believe, Frontier, when they were able to take out another team's top 3 and turn it into a top 3 of their own to end up winning that tournament. We're going to see if they can replicate a performance like that.
We actually did see Rhys snipe his teammate Tynan on the boost panels, and now we see Rhys in, quite frankly, a really bad position, right? Because he only has 5 coins, he doesn't have an item, and there are Zealous members right behind him.
Unfortunately, messing up that line there. He will maybe get a trail off on Toad. He won't, but now his coin count is looking a little bit more promising. And he's going to be entering this second set hoping for something to deal with the people behind him. Unfortunately, not going to happen, but there's always the possibility of that trail. And it's going to happen.
Demon.
After trying for an entire lap.
Mad.
Yeah. I mean,
don't know who's in first right now. I think it's Sketch, so...
Yeah, I don't think Sketch ever lost first. We never saw a blue, we never saw a shock, and we do see a 1... Oh, it was Swift. So it will be a top 2 for Zealous, but a 3-4-5 from SecretX, and we'll see what the rest of the pack looks like. A 3-4-5-6-7. I do believe that is very close, if not a tied race.
A 4 or 6 point swing.
Yeah, that's very close. In maybe... I couldn't tell you who that's in favor of.
SecretX.
Getting word from our stream host POV that Rhys was holding blue for a part of that race, so that would make sense, and that is going to be a tied race. So the lead once again remains at plus 12 in favor of Zealous, but with 9 races to play, literally anything can happen still.
Yeah, DK Jungle here. An anti-N-word pick, as Rhys is one of the higher spots for SecretX, you know.
The highest spot, actually.
Yeah. He's unable to do the super bounce, so Swift and Neo should be able to get a pretty good lead over him right away.
Yeah, especially with that Scooty in 4th, they're going to have the speed advantage as well. Unless Rhys can do some damage with these bumps, and that's looking to be exactly what he wants to do. He will maybe ride out Swift, but unfortunately he does get trailed out there.
Yeah. If I'm Rhys, I'm just stopping right away, you know, collecting some coins, collecting some boxes.
Yeah, for sure. Neo does seem to have the same game plan, and he is going to snatch those doubles. So Rhys is kind of stuck in the mud here. Going to be grabbing these coins from the wide section, and is going to be holding this ghost.
Yeah, pretty decent spot. We see a blue coming out from the side of SecretX. That's going to be Swift in first still, so...
Most likely, yeah. Neo, we do see billing his way up, and Rhys as well. So it's just going to be a matter of time until we find out what both of them did pull from that last double set on lap 1. Varo is going to be going through these boxes here, and he's going to end up with a star and a gold, which makes sense.
If we could switch to Rhys Paw real quick, because never mind. Okay, I thought he had shock maybe.
Could pull it here,
but I got
and
confused with Neo.
He does not. He gets another star, which is quite unfortunate for him. But he is going to be chaining those into the doubles. So
this looks pretty similar to the bone dry doing race, right? Where SecretX or Zealous, excuse me, is just a lot on the top. But we see Drac having a bill in 7th.
Yeah. Unfortunate smart bounce on Varo there, and he's kind of in a terrible spot at the moment, surrounded by his teammates while he has triple reds. He's just going to slow down and grab that double and hope for the best. He's going to land a bill, which is very, very good for him.
Yeah, 3 bills,
especially with this ending coming up.
So if there's a set to pull shock, it's going to be this one. No,
for sure.
Unfortunate, he gets a bill.
Yeah, we're going to see 2 SecretX members in dodges, but Rhys is in a bill of his own, which means shock is not going to be happening this race. And Varo is going to be landing 8th. That's going to be a 7, 8, 9, and also 12 for SecretX.
Oh, 7. Okay.
So
yeah, another really good race for Zealous.
Yeah, and they are now assuming top 3 overall, and looking to, and they have just increased their lead, looking to solidify it by even more to wrap up this match early if possible. With 8 races, there definitely is still a lot of Mario Kart to be played, but with Zealous jumping out to an early 22-point lead, they are making a statement and saying, hey, we wanted you guys for a reason, and we're showing you that.
But even so, it's not just a one and done, right? Like,
for sure,
SecretX still has 2 and 3. Obviously, the team that wins the first match is just at a huge advantage, but you're never out of it.
Yeah. We do see Hyrule Circuit, which is going to be ideal for Zealous, as they just keep getting top spots after top spots on every single race, and them getting all of their runners is only going to be helping for that. I think we've gotten 3 runners in a row. We've gotten Wario Stadium. We've gotten 4 runners in a row. We got SA, Wario Stadium, DKJ, and now this. There was that Bone Dry Dunes race in the middle, though, so...
That's true. We see Triple Shrooms coming out for Varo right here. Pretty good.
Right.
Still looks like Zealous quite a bit in the top. You know, he's really hard pressed to get past him here. And Demon has fire, but fortunately for Varo, he shouldn't be backing this fire.
This could potentially be Right, yeah. Sorry for cutting you off there, but this could potentially be a top 4 for Zealous. Now a top 3, now a top 2. But yeah, Zealous was holding top 4 there for a moment, and now it has been reduced to still a 1, 3, 4, 5, I think. But Varo's made his way up into 2nd, and with Triple Nanas being surrounded by Zealous members, he is not in the worst of positions whatsoever. Looking to do some damage to these front spots.
Yeah, we see Mike coming up. Looks like he might be in 5th, 4th maybe. Looks like he shroomed through the shortcut, so he has to be careful. These triple bananas. Yeah, we see Mike in 3rd.
He's right there, and we are going to watch Varo get rid of them. We are going to see Demon shroom back up into 2nd, reclaiming that top 2 for Zealous. We could maybe see a back. We won't.
He'll back here.
SecretX still holding 3, 4.
Oh, Boomerang, that's actually perfect.
Yeah, Boomerang is one of the best items that Varo could have wanted. However, damn, able to pass Mike and able to red out Varo. And that's going to be a top 3 for Zealous, and I don't think Mike can do anything to stop that.
Yeah, and something that, you know, I'm kind of noticing here is that
was an incredible race.
There's always like a player or 2 in the bag, but we've only seen the one shock, right? You have to think that if SecretX or even Zealous gets these shocks, it's just going to be like kind of a blowout.
Yeah, and with that top 3, 5, 7 from Zealous, they did get last, but honestly, with the position that they're in right now, that's perfectly fine. They have the leeway to be able to send a player back there and be able to keep an eye out on Rhys or whoever else might be doing the bagging to just be extra safe and extra careful, because they do have this lead, and with one really, really good SecretX shock, all of that could flip.
And we see our, excuse me, we see our biggest lead of the match, minus 44. But like you said, there's still quite a few races to play. We have 7 left, so they can definitely do it. We see N64 and Varo coming out here. Not a personal favorite of mine at all, but, you know, if it works out for them, that's all that matters.
Right, and this is the place to start a comeback. Things have been looking grim for SecretX as of the first 5 races, but now that we're about to enter the halfway point of this war, if they can snatch that momentum out from under Zealous on a track like this, which is ideal for them to be doing it on in the first place, then this could be an entirely different war in the second half. Varo attempting to make his way up the pack with this shroom here, and is going to be somewhat successful. We do see an early top 2 from SecretX, but there were a couple of members of Zealous that did have very prominent attacking items. Sketch is going to have to be careful with those triple nanos, and does get rid of them in time. However, Dax has assumed first place, with Varo and Mike unable to do anything about it except for just draft.
Yeah, and this track isn't one that you'll really see shocks on, like, if at all. So, I'd be curious to see what both teams look like when they're going, you know, full run in 6-on-6.
A ton of SX members in the middle of the pack seems to tell me that we are looking at a 1-3 from, okay, now God. A top 2, but a top 2
they just
from
own
Zealous.
These moves, dude. Demon just owned Sketch and Twonk, and then Rhys just exploded, but we see top 3, oh my God, get niche.
A nice net from Varo, but we are almost definitely looking at a top 2 from Zealous. Varo taking these wide lines to try and avoid that back, and is able to do so successfully. Not sure if we could say the same about the people behind him, but he is going to end up in 3rd. Let's have a look. And yes, it was a top 2 for Zealous with a 7-8-9 to go with it. So that is going to be a slight win for them. Not as bad as, you know, the top 3s and the 1-3-4-5s that Zealous was getting before, but it's a start. Now entering the halfway point of this war, we are looking at, that race was a -4. We are now looking at a 48-point differential for SecretX to climb over the second half of this war. And with 6 races to play, it is definitely still possible. It's just, they have to start get moving now, or else this is going to become harder and harder as the races go by.
Yeah, the best time to start a comeback is now, right?
For sure. It's always now. Whether now was a couple races ago or whether now is the current spot of the war we are. Because it's impossible to... Because at some point, if SecretX never gets going, then it's going to become mathematically impossible to come back for them eventually if, you know, they aren't able to get rid of this deficit early enough. So they're going to be looking to do so as soon as possible on Twisted Mansion, with Mike streaming up in the 1st. An early top 2 for them. Not quite sure who that Wiggler is, but it is Swift. We do see an early top 2 4, with Varo up here holding down 4th, holding off those Zealous members, and also Tynan apparently. But Mike and Sketch keeping that early top 2.
Triple greens right here. Oh, never mind. So I'm going to say triple green's a really good item, but we actually see Varo getting owned by that bomb. We see Mike in 1st, probably still a top 2 for SX, but again, so many Zealous members behind, right? I mean, Toad's going to drop, but still, there's Dam and Neo, and I believe Demon was up there too.
I think Neo was also, or Demon rather. I think Demon, something also happened to him, because I never watched Sketch drop out of 2nd, so by process of elimination, there's only so many players that can be up here. We do see a lot of SX at the moment up here, though. Presumably still top 2, and they're also holding down 4, 5, 6. So whoever that Zealous member in third is has kind of a lot of pressure on them in order to keep this from getting out of hand. Likely a Zealous shock, as we do see a few of their members dodging up, but that might not have been ideal for them, as they weren't really able to target shock anybody.
Honestly,
it's not so much
about target shocking right here, because we see Dax able to come up, Dam's here, we saw Toad as well.
Yeah, Dam holding down second, Dax with that horn in first, but an incredible snipe and trail from Varo is going to completely dismantle that top 2, and now SecretX is looking at top 2 of their own with Draken second. Incredible work by Varo there.
Oh, that's so tough.
Another TS, though, is going to be unfortunate, and that is looking to most definitely be a Zealous shock. We're going to have a look at who's passing him. Yeah, that's Swift and Demon. And that's a top 4 from Zealous almost, I think.
Yeah, we saw
Dam,
yeah.
Unfortunately being killed out there, but that's a top 3, for sure.
Yep, Swifted Mansion, baby. Swifted Mansion. 10-12 kind of hurts a little bit, but, you know, when you have a 40-point lead, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and they did still win that race. These slight wins is all that Zealous is really looking for, because as long as they are able to keep SX from getting the momentum with that one running race, then they're going to be chilling for the entire rest of this Game 1. And if I were SecretX, I would be maybe looking into what can change for Game 2, because Game 1's definitely not over yet. But they definitely do not want to have the same start to Game 2 as Game 1 did. So, it's going to be up to them to try and figure that out. But for now, we are looking at TikTok Clock and Moo Moo Meadows mostly, with a couple of end diff picks.
You know, Moo Moo Meadows, pretty good track for when you're starting on the back and get shrooms at the first set, and also really good for inward players. So,
right.
We see RMC coming out here. Definitely a more common pick, you know, able to be bagged harder.
Mm-hmm. And I did get some info from the stream house that Rhys did dodge that second shock, but was killed out by Zealous anyways, which led to that top 3.
Yeah, right. I do remember the POV switch right when Rhys got bananaed or something.
And Rhys is going to be bagging to no surprise, I think. He's been kind of in the back this entire time, just seeing what he can possibly do to mitigate Zealous's possible shock plans. And, well, unfortunately hasn't been going exactly in their favor quite yet, with Zealous pulling those 2 shocks on Twisted Mansion, leading to that top 3 for them. SecretX have pulled a shock of their own on Bone Dry Dunes, and were able to win that race off of that. So, on another very much shock-controlled track like RMC, Rhys is definitely going to be looking to repeat that. And now with Mike in the back, dodging Rhys, he's going to be bringing a Bill possibly up to maybe about the mid-pack. Probably not now that the star just ended, but still holding that Bill after the shock is definitely a big factor. Pulling that star as well is great, and he's going to be taking the extension right here.
Yeah, and you know, like we said, Rhys is definitely more known for his Mogi play, so bagging for him is definitely nothing that is, you know, unfamiliar territory. He's in a really good spot right here if he can just use a star, yeah.
Yeah, he's getting first. I don't see him not getting first here. Okay, well, maybe not, but that will be a top 3 for SecretX. That is exactly the response that they were looking for. A top 3-5 probably, depending on where Sketch finished, but...
Oh, Sketch got owned.
Yeah, Sketch did get owned.
Oh wait, that was Tynan rather. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was Tynan. Yeah, Sketch was second. But still, it's a start. It's a start for SecretX. This is, you know, what they have been looking to do for the past few races, and now that they're actually doing it, now that they actually have the momentum, it's going to be interesting to see how they can ride it and what is going to end up happening over the course of this last GP, with a 48-point lead to whittle down in just 4 races. It is possible, and if they can replicate that race that they just got 4 more times, then they will win game 1. So we're going to have to just wait and see what happens here. They think TikTok Clock is going to be their answer. Unfortunately for SecretX, though, yet another track pick coming out from Zealous, as we're going to be starting race 9 here on Dolphin Shoals.
Yeah, Dolphin Shoal is definitely a track that you can play either way. You can either run it or bag it. I think this is not even that bad for SecretX, right? Because all their players at the top can draft each other.
Rhys kind of just being a stick in the mud at the moment, stuck in the pack here with 2 coins, trying to make his way into some position. Be careful not to trail Tynan there. And still a very tight pack here at the end of this lap 1 now. 2 SecretX members falling to, I believe, the same Nana. And it looks like almost the entirety of SecretX has been reduced to just that first place. And this 4 at the moment. Varo holding it down. That bomb is definitely going to be doing some damage if he can use it properly with the 2-3 from Zealous.
Yeah, right now I think just holding that green was a good play, and I think you're going to want to back the bomb right here because it's quite literally impossible for them to avoid. Yeah, they just have to stop, as we saw right there. Now Varo has a pretty good lead over 2nd and 3rd, which at this point could be a SecretX member.
It could be, but there also is the promise of a target shock. We are not quite sure whose that was, but I would probably imagine that it was from Zealous, because we did see Mike getting shocked over there, and we did see a lot of the mid-pack getting shocked over there as well, which has mostly been SecretX over the course of this match. And with SecretX now entering this top 3, Titan in that bill, completely destroying that crazy 8 there.
Yeah, and now barring a blue, Swift just kind of wins, right? Because he has triple reds in first, and we see Tynan in second, but
yeah,
can't really pass him.
We are going to see maybe... Oh, a shock is going to be huge.
Oh, okay, never mind. He doesn't win.
That shock is going to be huge for SecretX if they were able to use it correctly, and it looks like they were. We're going to see if Rhys and Sketch are able to make their way up the pack here. They won't be. Swift is going to end his race in 7th, and it looks like there were mostly SecretX members in the front. No, there weren't. No. Christ. Okay, that's a top 4, 7-9, I believe, for Zealous.
Yeah. Bunch of SecretX members got target shocked right there.
Unfortunately for Rhys, that shock use was not quite what he had hoped it might have been. And we are now looking at a very, very steep hill to climb for them. It is looking... They're looking at a 78-point deficit in just 3 races.
Yeah, that's probably just gonna be a good game.
It is not quite impossible yet, but, you know, as we have said, there is always the possibility of a comeback in this game. It's going to come down maybe to this track pick. If it's on Music Park, then there is definitely a much lower chance of SecretX being able to pull back and get that momentum snap they need. But Moo Moo Meadows is definitely going to give them a little bit more leeway to pull something ridiculous off.
Yeah, Moo Moo Meadows definitely a good start. Rhys is in a really good spot right here. You know, if he can just get a shroom, and he should be able to get into first pretty easily.
Yeah,
you see him,
and he is unfortunately going to land a red. We do see a couple of shrooms from people in the front. I cannot quite tell who was holding them, but it did mostly look like Zealous members. Neo getting redded out there, but that's really not going to do much in the grand scheme of things. Varo here in 5th, trying to get around all these nanas up here in the front pack that Zealous is offering them. Mike somehow able to get away from that rotating one from Toad. Varo unfortunately missing the set as Mike does get trailed out, and we are looking at probably a top 3 Zealous, unless there's a SecretX member in first at the moment.
Yeah, and Varo's just kind of in a tough spot, right? Well, okay, Fire's actually really good here. Oh, but the plan...
That plan is... You know, that plan is kind of a deal sealer. I don't think that so long as there is in fact a Zealous member at first, which I believe there is, and that is just going to be it for them. You know, assuming that Zealous is having first, and with how they are playing in the front, I see no reason why they wouldn't be. I think it's just about over for SecretX unless they can pull something miraculous off in this ending here. Rhys is going to go into a star here and maybe gain a couple of spots, but he's probably just going to lose them all back right here on this last turn. Finishing his race in 9th, and there were a lot of Zealous members back there, so we have no idea what the front looked like. That top 2-5 from Zealous is going to seal game 1, though, and they will be walking away from this in just 10 races. So very well done by them.
Pretty good race for Zealous. You know, when you have a lead as big as this one, you don't need all of the top spots, right? You just need an okay race, and we see that -8 is enough to seal game 1. So what do you think for match 2? What do you think SecretX has to do to adjust?
Now, I do think that what SecretX was able to accomplish this war was a result of their ability to use the shock well. And when they used the shock well, they played well. And if they weren't pulling the shock, then Zealous was kind of taking advantage of that by just being more powerful in the front of the pack. And if they were using shock badly, then we do see a race akin to what happened on Dolphin Shoals, where there ended up being a top 4 despite their efforts with the 2 shocks there. So it's going to come down to how SecretX uses the shock in order to take 2 straight wars off of Zealous if they want any chance of going to the MKU finals.
Yeah, true. I think, you know, obviously they have to get the shocks first, which we saw them kind of struggle with sometimes before. But, you know, that's kind of just luck, right? Like, obviously there's quite a bit you can do to influence it, but at the end of the day, nothing's ever guaranteed.
That's true. But, there's only really so much that you can do right now. Like, you can... There is the option of having a designated bagger, but that's a whole other conversation of whether or not that's even worth it, because you can either have 6 people that are really strong in communications and really strong in running, and any of them can just go back for shock whenever it is necessary, or you can just have someone that completely just suicides the race from the very beginning. And both of them are viable strategies. It's gonna come down to SecretX to see what they want to do, if they even want to try out the shock meta at all, or if they just want to do this the old-fashioned way and, you know, get good with their running.
I think they should just go full run, right? Because it just gives them the best chance.
Right. I mean, against a team like Zealous, who we've seen throughout the entirety of this match just be so powerful in the front, with their ability to take out SecretX members and their ability to just remain in top spots despite SecretX members' best efforts to do something about it. It's going to be... SecretX has a lot of thinking to do.
And, like, pardon my French, but Zealous is just kind of beating ass when it comes to the shocks.
Yeah, they definitely are. And that's why I think SecretX has to, you know, step up their game in that regard if they want to you know, if they want any chance of taking 2 straight wars from this team. Otherwise, it's going to be looking like Zealous in the finals.
Yeah. We see another 28 or 26 rather point race coming out.
Right.
Obviously, things like differential don't matter in the playoffs, so these last 2 races kind of just garbage time right here.
Yeah, and this is just a time for SX to, have just a mental reset and think about, all right, what went wrong? What can we do to improve? Maybe if they want to change their lineup or something, get John in there, something like that. If they want to maybe think about different tracks, think about different ways to kill members of Zealous in the front, because that was something they were struggling with. Losing in 10 is nice because, well, it's bad for a lot of reasons, but the one nice thing about it is that it gives you a lot of time to think about what to do differently in a situation like this. So,
and this might sound silly, right? But like, just from kind of what I can remember, it just feels like there were more Zealous members like in around our POVs than there are SecretX members. Like, there's usually a player or two from SecretX like in the back, kind of committed to bagging, which is a good strategy, but they're just kind of getting outnumbered and overpowered by Zealous.
Yeah, and that is something that they have proven to be so good at over the course of the season. And now that it comes playoff time, the most important parts of the season, we're going to be seeing them take that and put it into full force. And they are absolutely doing a great job so far with a very, very comfortable win over a team as strong as SecretX. Because to make the D1 playoffs even in the first place, you've already got to be one of the best teams in the world. And to be able to beat one of those best teams in the world as comfortably and solidly as you just did, if you're Zealous, you've got to be confident going into Game 2.
So far, it is looking like a good idea to dodge Frenzy or Bree, kind of guaranteeing yourself a spot in the finals. Well, not guaranteeing, right? But like making it a bit easier. We see a shot coming in, and Varo is going to take second place, which unfortunately doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Another, I think, winning race there for Zealous, and they're going to be ending off this war with a top 4 overall. Nobody really popping off in the end of department, but when you have your entire team playing as well as you just have, you have a 106, a 103, and a 97 and a 92. You don't need that. Which just goes to show how good of a team Zealous is, despite how good all of their players are individually.
Yeah, and I think something that one of my criticisms, Zealous, when I saw that they were coming back, I was kind of worried about them being able to, get like a solid 6 every week. I mean, no disrespect to these guys, right? But they had some players that I hadn't heard of, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe these guys are good. They're up and coming. They can get better if they get some practice in the higher matches. But I think like D1 playoffs isn't really the time to get some of your first D1 experience, especially with so much on the line. So
yeah.
For me, it's good to see that they have a lot of players, Toad, Neo, Dayam,
Dax.
Yeah, and they have a lot of experience in D1, and obviously Swift and Demon do as well.
Yeah,
but
not to say that the SecretX members don't, but especially these people from Zealous.
Yeah, they've just been playing together for so long, and they have all this experience together. So it's really good to see them go to that and see it work out.
Right, and work out it has, as they've just very, very comfortably taken Game 1 by over 100 points, I believe. Yeah, a 122-point victory to seal Game 1 away over SecretX, and they are just one game away from their first MKU finals in a long, long time, and they were able to do so in their very first season coming back. So there's a lot on the line for both of these teams if SecretX wants to make, I believe, their MKU Finals debut, or if Zealous can potentially complete their comeback story of ages. We're going to find out at the top of the hour. Unfortunately, I will not be here, and we're going to find somebody else to be Royal's co-caster, but I had fun while I was here, and
yeah, it was a good game.
It's been nice to watch the first match unfold, and I'll definitely be in the chat for the second one. So it's been nice to see you, Royal, but I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We're actually going to be taking a quick, 10-15 minute break. We'll be back getting ready to go into game 2. So stick around, and we'll see you guys then.
See ya.
What's going on? Welcome back. We are getting into things right away. We are already on almost lap 2 here. I'm Royal. I'm joined by Alex.
Hello. Sorry, this was very sudden. Didn't expect it to stop this quickly.
Yeah, no, I got a DM from Varo. It was like, hey, we just started. Don't know who to message. Well, it's like, all right, you got it, brother.
That's great. It's absolutely great.
Well, it looks things first match was a little bit of a blowout on Zealous' end. Very comfortable victory. Very nice 122 differential. Obviously you saw that first war. How did things kind of play out generally, I guess?
I mean, Zealous just kind of did everything better with SecretX, right? They got more shocks, they used them better, so it was just pretty dominant overall. And, the only change I've noticed so far is that we see Bry, WH coming in, Bingus, I don't know if Trippy Walter, Ben's not able to play, but he's got his Echo Fighter coming in, so it's all good anyway. We see Varo with a bomb right here.
Might
be able to do some damage.
Over and over. Onto this top 2 though. Barely misses the road,
my
but
God,
takes both
dude.
of them out with the same bomb. It's going to be a top 2 at the end of the race for SX right now, but Mike gets taken out mid-air by Demon. Varo has his own horn to kind of keep himself up there, but gets redded out instantly. Dax passes him, but it looks like Sketch might have taken first, right on the line. Yes, Sketch does take first, but he's followed by 3 Zealous members. Pretty mixed race to start this second match off.
Yeah, so much just happened, like, at the end right there. That was kind of crazy. We thought Varo had it first, but he had to throw away both of his defenses to Horn Demon, and then we saw Dax with the red.
Yeah, I mean, obviously in that situation, you kind of have to just throw everything you've got
and just pray that it works out. And looked like it was going to work out, but Dax, being patient with that red, really paid off for Zealous there to get them a slightly winning race. I believe that's a +4 race in Zealous' favor. So
yeah.
not a bad start for either team. Still very much, but the match isn't open at all. Well, the match is still, quite. It's anyone's taking. Obviously, only one race. It's impossible for the match to be over after one race. But hopefully, we see more races like that where, kind of just everything's going back and forth and not too big of a differential between the team.
We see a Global Volcano, which... Did you see which team picked this? I wasn't entirely sure.
I didn't, actually. Still, this is a good track. Pretty good for drafting.
We see Varo just getting completely taken out, not able to take advantage of drafts. Tries to take Neo out, but Red just breaks. Might see Varo potentially going for shock here, seeing as he's bagging quite early on.
Yeah, and I don't know if SecretX wants to kind of rely on the shock, because they kind of got smacked around by it last match, and we do see Mike and Rhys here in fifth. Not quite sure who's in top three. We see Dame in second, Swift in fourth, or third rather, excuse me.
Mike and Rhys is kind of sticking to each other, and Rhys eventually getting pushed into the offer and hit out because of that. Pretty poor spacing from those two. Yeah, obviously can't tell from this POV who's in top spots, but I would imagine it's more Zealous, judging by the amount of SX names we see back here. Rhys in a pretty good position if there's a shock in play, and only really if there's a shock in play. Which it does come in, which will be an SX shock to get Zealous right out of their dodges. Golden in 7th right now from Rhys as well, can do some serious damage with this.
We did see Neo dodge, so the damage will be kind of mitigated. Dam owns him with the triple bananas.
You still got 2 of them left. Drops another one on Rhys, just kind of... Neo with the horn in the mid-pack, not able to do anything with his teammate right next to him though. Can't tell whose plan that is, but that's definitely kind of screwed Rhys over a lot. Demon with the plan, that is.
Yeah, and we did see Rhys dodge, it was holding a golden, so it looked like he was going to be in a good spot, but kind of just got owned by other things.
I mean...
Could this be a top 4?
No, yeah, I mean, we definitely see at least a 2, 3, 4. Couldn't see who was in first, but that is going to be a top 4 for SecretX. Top 4, 8, 9. Instantly clapping back after that slight loss with a pretty sizable win of their own. Definitely a very effective shock, which, I mean, like you said, last match they were kind of getting beaten on the shocks, really. So to see them able to get that shock there and, really capitalize on it, that's, ideally for them, just gonna give them the chance to really get a foothold in this match and, not let Zealous kind of trample them like they did last time.
Yeah. Good on Rhys, he was able to kind of avoid all the bullshit,
Yeah.
to put it quite frankly.
Yeah.
And good on him to able to get into a top spot,
He was definitely patient with his items as well, which helped. Chaining just at the right time, eventually able to get that star, which he held on to for a little bit. I think he held it through a couple of sets. Maybe that indicates they were holding that shot for a little bit. I don't know, you'll never know. On to Wario Stadium, which they did start in top 4. I think Rhys might have taken his teammate out. No, never mind, that's still a top 4. At the very least a top 3. Rhys getting bumped and just hit by everything. We see Varo back here as well.
We do see a bottom 2 from SX. Not unfamiliar territory. We see Dax doing a little bit of trolling, but it looks like it got broken somehow.
Mike is also at the back now. I believe he was starting at the front. Excuse me. Quite a few SX names back here as well, though. Quite a few Zealous names back here. Looks like SX were able to keep those top spots, which they did start with. Sketch getting taken out, though.
And Rhys able to gain quite a few spots right there on the shortcut. So now this is looking really, really good for SecretX. I'm assuming they're still top 3, top 2 maybe?
I think Sketch was part of the top 3 originally, so more than likely it's just the top 2. We do see someone getting taken out, but not able to tell who that is. Varo getting shrooms, able to take Kurt. Demon with the red, I think that's going for Rhys. Varo opting to take coins instead of the Kurt. Pretty smart play, honestly. Yeah, a lot of Zealous back here, so presumably SX is still in very good spots. Pretty much all Zealous back here. This could be, this could be a really good setup right now for SX. Varo getting taken out, able to bag a little bit into this set. That could be a top 3 if that's still Brian first, where he started.
First, so this is a top 3 right here. So the SecretX members, in the bag just have to make sure that they can get decent spots. Hopefully nobody passes on the shortcut.
Not able to connect with the fire, and Rhys does get taken out himself, losing 1 spot. Didn't see who it was to, but there was a lot of Zealous behind him. Yeah, he loses spot to Zealous. But that's still a top 2 fall for SecretX.
Wario Stadium playing out exactly how you'd expect, with top spots just staying in top spots.
It's a really good race for SecretX. You know, definitely the start you want to get off to, especially considering what happened last match. You know, they had like just a short lead, you know, or a small lead rather, excuse me, but it was very short-lived.
Yeah, and again, obviously, I wasn't following the previous match, so I just all I know is the final score, and that Zealous were the better team. So
it's good to see that they have the mentality strong enough to kind of come back after a pretty rough loss.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of the game as well, right? It's the mental aspect.
Already seeing huge signs of promise from SX. Not able to capitalize with a track pick though. Very French pick. Bone Dry Dunes. See a full lineup of French players. Not a surprise there.
Well, yeah, they have all the shroom spots, so but all that matters is who's in those spots in time to take the cut. Cut saves quite a lot. I feel like it's one of the it's quite an important cut, especially because it saves a lot and is right at the end of the level. So it pretty much decides races. This track obviously is runnable, and we are going to see Rhys and Drac and Bryce still as well trying to control the front here. Sketch following them behind.
Right there. Red triple greens, yeah. Oh, it looks like he actually, unfortunately, did hit his teammate Sketch. Gotta be somewhat careful. Make sure you don't hit your guys.
Someone's gonna take the hit eventually. Most breakaways don't happen without one teammate getting just meat shielding. So
yeah, but you know, in a perfect world.
In an ideal world, team kills don't exist, but I think as a community we're quite far away from that world.
Yeah, we see Varo here. He's in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, golden on this track is always nice. Yeah. Blue is coming in though, which will be going for SecretX. It's taken out by presumably Dax's green. It's gonna have to work to avoid them as well. Not in a truly favorable position, but definitely not in a bad position at all.
And there's
early star coming in.
Zealous members back here. Could this be? Oh, and that's a shock coming in.
Oh, that is a shock. Presumably an SX shock.
Yeah.
Seems like they're really basing their playstyle around the shock this time.
Yeah,
Jack is able to keep first with Varo.
It's working out really well for them, right? Like, in the last match, they had trouble kind of getting the shocks, and when they did get them, they didn't use them perfectly, right? But it looks like things are just going a lot better for them this match, you know, both getting the shocks and utilizing them.
So right now, they got the shock in the top 3 last turn of Bone Dry. That's pretty ideal position. Rhys holding his blue as well indicates that they did manage to cross the line in high spots.
Yeah. I think we saw, I'm not quite sure who that was that got owned on the line right there.
That's going to be Rye getting hit on the line. But still a 1-3-5, I believe 7-8-9 for SecretX. Another really good race. That's 3 in a row now where they've just kind of had a comfortable victory. And I believe they've had the shock all 3 times as well.
Yeah, this is kind of just the opposite of what happened last match. You know, Zealous got off to an early lead, but now we see SecretX kind of just breaking away.
I mean, yeah, 48 point difference after 1 GP. Obviously, you're not out of it if you're Zealous right now, but you need to think, right, we need to do something differently. Because, you know, it's not completely out of the competition, but it's certainly less than favorable position to be in.
Absolutely.
I think the game plan for Zealous right now probably should be to focus as much on shock as SecretX are. And kind of, even, like, obviously, it's pretty heavily down to luck if someone actually gets a shock, yes, but just putting yourself in the position to contest them will help a lot, and eventually that will pay off if you're Zealous here.
And the things you're on MW.
Well, shock obviously being very crucial on this track. You see the last glider, last item set as well, so a lot of potential for just to completely flip a race with a shock here. See Rhys at the back early on going for coins, presumably going to go for shock. Although Varo maybe has other ideas. Kind of. So we've got 3 SX members in the bottom 3 who are potentially able to get shock. So they're definitely going to see SX going for that. None of Zealous really kind of contesting yet, though. Like, Neo is back here, but he's not made a conscious effort to really drop back alongside Rhys and Varo yet.
Yeah, we see Rhys here in 11th. Star Golden, really good pull right here. You can use the star to do shortcut, take another item box, and just golden up through the ramps. We see bottom 2, both of our POVs, it looks like.
Can't quite see what Varo has. If we could get a little bit of insight on... Okay, so he's goldening as well, so no shock in play just yet, and that's kind of like the main set where it tends to get pulled. So the chances are we might not even see a shock this race unless Varo pulls something out of his ass quite late. Few more Zealous back here than there were at the start of the race, at least.
Yeah, and, you know, it didn't really look like Varo needed to stop, but now we see a few SecretX members in the back. We see Rhys and Mike, Varo as well, so it'll be curious to see who's getting top spots here. Could this be the race that Zealous needs to spark a comeback?
We see Neo still back here, Mike and Rhys in bottom 2, though. Yeah, it's going to be a bottom 2 for SecretX. Can't tell at all what spots were up there.
Top 2,
yeah, that is a... Oh, I don't know, that's a bit of a mixed race. Because SX was still able to take 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe. So kind of negating the damage that could have been done with that bottom 2.
Yeah.
That is... Okay, that's a plus 14 race for Zealous, so completely cancelled out the previous race. No shock that time, surprisingly, considering looked like I don't know. Rhys and Varo were kind of like pseudo going for shock, but not entirely. Looked like they were kind of just hoping for it instead of going for it, which, in all fairness, they might not have needed to do. And at this stage, they don't actively need to go for it when they're in. Well, they've got a foothold on the match. That's kind of. They have a lead, and they can keep that lead, and they can tank some average races. So yeah, shock doesn't necessarily need to be their main priority now, at least for the next few races, but obviously can't be taking your foot off the gas against a team like Zealous, because they will clap back. And they've already shown with Mount Warrior that without a shock, they might just be the better team. And that's... I don't know, I would feel quite threatened in SX's position right now. But looking at the race, we've got Demon in first, managing to keep first off of Zealous' track pick. Obviously one of the most heavy running tracks there is in the game. TikTok clock. Demon choosing to go biddy as well, to be extra sweaty. It's going to be a 1-3 at least right now for Zealous, although Demon does get taken out at first. Mike gets an awkward draft, Varo gets an awkward draft. He's holding 2 bombs, throws one up and gets towed right on the head.
Looks like they have bombs in top 2, top 3 maybe now. And we did see a red, it looks like it's split, hitting both Demon and Sketch at the end of lap 1. And now we're going to see a top 4 and 2 bombs.
Top 3 with Dax just tucking in right behind them. Mike probably in a position to take Dax out in an ideal world for SX. This is the position you want to be in on this track. Blue comes in and is... Ooh. Was that...
Looks like, oh, it looks like it's split maybe. I don't even know. I think it's split, yeah.
Yeah, we do see Varo able to increase his lead a little bit with that shroom.
And then we see, it looks like I was gonna say Dax in third.
Oh no, Dax! I think Dax takes Rhys out and takes second. So it's only first right now for SecretX. Varo doing a good job of holding this down and got that double defense to back him up.
Yeah, we see looking like Mike in third.
Yeah, Mike,
pretty fortunate right there. Oh, and Dax actually gets taken out, so he redded Varo just for no avail.
Did Dax get taken out? Oh no, he did! That's an incredible race for SecretX. top 3, 5, 6, I think I saw. So
Yeah, that was really good.
So SX have just about shown all aspects of their game now. Like they've shown that they can win with and without shock, and that they can really control the front when it's needed. That's impressive. They've really found some strength within the team between these two matches, and now it looks like they're just trying to outrun Zealous, which they've successfully done that on TikTok. I guess if they're just starting in the right spots, they will be able to do that for sure.
Yeah, definitely things are going a lot better for SecretX here. This is kind of the opposite of the first match, right? Because around this point, we saw Zealous having a 50, 60, or 70 point lead.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing...
exact opposite.
Yeah.
64-point deficit in SecretX's favor.
Yeah.
Gonna see some drafts coming in here. Ideally, this was a track pick from Zealous to benefit their back spots, and Rhys just gets absolutely annihilated, trailed and bumped off. Varo trying to find his way through all the drafts and Waluigi's. It gets taken out and bumped off as well. Similar fate to Rhys. Now we see Varo at the back. Not exactly sure where Rhys is now. That's three Zealous members right between them. So there's gonna be a lot of Zealous members at the back. This could be very favorable positions right now for SecretX, although Shock can do a lot on this track, especially with a massive glider section at the end. Triple shrooms in a mid spot is always nice. Even when there's no shortcuts, you can very easily make ground. I think we see a few of SX getting taken out and Rhys holding a red in third. Seems like SX probably in second? Yeah, that's Mike.
Yeah, we see Mike in second. Looks like Dax did get
takes
owned.
Toad out.
And he passes Toad. Gonna get
That's
combo.
2 reds from SX. That's going to be a top 2 at the very least. Blue comes in, dragged right behind them. Top 3
Blue,
going for
yeah, the blue's not gonna matter. Oh, unfortunately, Drake
gets taken out,
but still a top 2, which is really good right here.
See a few of Zealous right behind them, but this is likely going to be... Yeah, that's still a top 3, because Varo is able to come up at the end. Still a top 3, despite... I don't know. It's very convincing right now for SecretX.
Yeah, this is just the opposite of the first match. Like, quite literally.
That's plus 50 points in the last 2 races. Oh my! That is an impressive turnaround.
Yeah, they're kind of just, owning some noobs.
No, as some Japanese dude in Lounge once said, "Go Cumcack." Don't know if you've seen that tweet.
No, I've seen came back.
Came back, yes.
Came back, and there's the classic CBT.
Comeback time.
Everybody loves CBT.
Everybody loves some CBT in D1 semis, especially.
True.
SX very much CBT enjoys in this position. I've noticed that Zealous have actually gotten quite a few track picks in this match as well, which makes it quite surprising that SecretX are managing to just dominate them. Obviously, Zealous getting the tracks for the spots that they're in, tracks to favor their spots. And we do see SX running in top 3. Obviously, though, Varo dropping out now. Smart play. Rhys just designating himself to bagging with Bry back there as well.
Yeah, having 2 run on this track definitely
looks like quite mixed spots at the back, but not entirely sure what's going on up there.
Something I do know about Zealous and how they like to play bagging tracks is, a few years ago I played in Zealous, and we do see a shot coming out from Rhys right here. And something that Dax always said was he's like, even on Cheeseland and Dry Desert, you know, it's okay if we do like 1 run 5 bag or sometimes even 6 bag. So it'll be interesting to see right here. Looks like Mike is able to use a star in third, and quite a few players from SecretX are going to dodge. We saw Mike dodge in third. Varo have a golden, which he can use for the ultra or just use right now.
Yeah, Toad is up here in a star with fire. But we're going to see Varo just slipping straight into first with that golden. Getting immediately taken out, though. And Toad just snagging first. Don't know why Varo decided to spam his Nana back instantly, and that just leaves him wide open. See someone holding the star right next to him. That is Swift. It's the top 2 right now for Zealous. Rhys with double dodges, in a more than favorable position right now, if there's a second shock, that is.
I don't know, it looks like Zealous is just in a much better spot. They have better items. Oh, triple reds, steal, very good. He can hit damn. Oh, okay, he only got to use 1 red. Oh, we see triple reds come out, but he has a plant, so it looks like he's going to try and get rid of them. Pretty good play right there.
Yeah, he looks like he takes out all the reds and the player, but then getting rid of himself due to just the fact that he was well,
oh, his shrooms get stolen. He's not getting. Mike,
why is Mike going through cut with a horn? It's
yeah,
gonna be
I think he wanted to.
For Zealous.
Yeah, it looks like Mike wanted to troll some noobs in the shortcut. Didn't really work out.
3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 12 from SecretX. You know, honestly, you can take that sort of race. You can kind of goof around a little bit at this point. Obviously, not too much, but just, you know, have a little bit of fun. And kind of not let yourself get tilted over one bad race.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously 2 bad races they've had. But comparatively, their 2 bad races have been nowhere near as effective as their good races.
Yeah, you know, a minus 12, minus 14, and minus 4. That's not bad at all compared
plus
to their
30s,
plus 28, plus 30s. Yeah.
It's definitely more than comfortable position. I feel like I've said that enough. Like, they're in a comfortable position, they've got a foothold on the match, but I don't know, it's kind of repeatedly asserting their dominance on Zealous by getting these powerful races followed up by very slight losses to, I guess, give Zealous a little bit of a tease. Like, hey, you can maybe beat us once, but we'll just clap back instantly. Like, obviously, you saw last time Zealous got a winning race, SecretX got a plus 30 right after. So there's not really much Zealous can do, at least with the way that they're playing currently. There's not a great deal they can do to change the fact that, you know, SecretX are very strong.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this does go the distance. You know, maybe it'll balance out and be like a really close match, but still, things aren't over here. Zealous more than capable of making a comeback. But the adjustments from SecretX have been just so good this match, and we do see 2-3 for Zealous, maybe, yeah, top 3 actually.
We see someone back there throwing the blue, so it's presumably a SecretX member at the back going for shock. Yeah, SX kind of reverting back to the playstyle which got them these winning races, just going for shock and trying to use it as effectively as possible.
Looks like they were able to break the blue. Triple shroom, triple green is so good. Oh, Rhys gets taken out by the random green right there.
Rhys is in a very good position, able to get ahead of them with triple green, slows down and takes one of them out.
I think maybe he should have held the shroom to the shortcut, and he could have tried to hit Toad and them.
But he does connect with the back on Toad, and that's going to be a top 3 right now for SecretX.
Dude,
blue comes in.
Inward backs are cheating.
Another back. Oh my, yeah. I may or may not have flamed someone for literally using inward and back spamming me earlier when I was playing Lounge. Most frustrating thing to deal with as an outside drift player.
This is going to be a free first for Rhys. He's able to take a shortcut right here. Doesn't even have to risk getting hit by the plant. We see top 3. Rhys, Varo, Drac. We see Demon in 4th.
looks like Demon's kind of the only one able to get a good race here for Zealous. Oh, 4-5, but again, exactly what happened last time. Zealous get a winning race, and SX immediately clap back with probably a stronger race than what they got. It's just, yeah, kind of really fighting a losing battle right now, Zealous. And SecretX have been picking the same track over and over again, and just have not got it a single time. Zealous keep pumping out these track picks, and then just not able to make anything out of them.
Yeah, SecretX is kind of just taking advantage of everything that's going their way, and they're playing really well. I'm glad to see that the adjustments are coming through.
I just wanna quickly talk about the actual makeup of each team, because you look at the players on Zealous's roster, pretty much I feel like everyone maybe bar one player in this lineup. Not exactly sure of exactly who, but there's probably at most one player in Zealous's lineup who didn't play in finals last season. Obviously, with this team being pretty much a cross between Requiem and World Friend Star.
Yeah, it's Neo. I think Neo was on SecretX last time.
And then you get SecretX. I don't remember Mike playing a great deal last season. Bry, I don't even think was on the roster last season.
No, he wasn't.
And this probably his first season playing at this level. And obviously doing a really good job of it so far this match. Zealous pretty much dominates in the experience factor. I feel like at least as of recent seasons in this game.
Yep. You know, players like okay.
Oh, Varo.
Players like what? Sketch. Excuse me. Sorry, I got completely stun locked right there. Players like Sketch and Rhys, no stranger to high level gameplay already.
Okay, this is a bit of a weird position, I feel like, for SX. I cannot tell whose shot that was, so it feels like the dodges were a bit mixed. If I had to guess, maybe that was Varo attempting to call the shock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looked like he might have tried to dive off. Oh, Mike just owned a noob.
Mike is on fire this match. No pun intended, with Rhys having his own fireball. Did he just throw that fire directly back at Sketch, or am I tripping balls?
Not quite sure. We see top 2. Okay, top 2, 4, 5, the horn.
Nope.
If he didn't
2-3 right now for SX.
Oh.
2-3 4?
Either 2-3 4 or 2-3 5. All right, let's see, Mike. What are you gonna try and do here? You might be able to niche dam. Oh, I would have thrown a couple forward right there. Still, that's not that bad. 2-3
again. You can tank a 2-3 from this position.
Yeah,
2-3, 7, 8, 9, 11. It's a losing race.
Good enough, but
probably about a +10 for Zealous again. But again, history's repeating itself. Zealous getting that was only a +4 race for Zealous. And what's likely going to happen is, as we've seen every single time before this, is SecretX will just likely be able to get a pretty big race in to counter it. But with that race happening, SecretX have won the match, and it's completely over. That's curtains. Zealous cannot win this match.
I think this was the result that we saw on the last match as well. 84 points going into race 11.
Hey, they finally get that track pick that they've been waiting for what feels like the entire war. I mean, obviously now that it doesn't matter, but still, obviously nice to get if you're SecretX. Get a little bit of extra practice in before the next match.
I got word from Varo that Game 3 is going to be starting right away. So make sure you just stick around. We'll get right into things. Should be very exciting. Game 3. Hopefully it's closer than the first 2 matches. Personally, I hope it's just kind of a culmination of the 2, an average. So it's very close.
You can see Varo opting to switch to Wario for this race, and able to take an early lead, only to get redded out and passed by 2 Zealous members and his teammate Mike. Rhys on Wario as well. Looks like all of SecretX have just switched to heavy characters. Not sure what the intention behind that is, but go off, I guess.
They're just hanging out, having fun in the sun.
Vibing with the boys, I guess.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't see any Donkey Kongs. That's probably because Tyler owns, he's got a Funky Kong NFT, man. So they don't want to infringe on his property.
Is that like?
No,
is that serious?
Not really.
Okay.
He made a few, and he just dropped a Diddy Kong one. We see Rhys in second here. Should be able to get first, maybe, if he can get 2 reds, but he doesn't need first. So he's just gonna, oh my god, owned.
Truly owned. He passed by all of Zealous. Oh, it's lap 3 already, I didn't even realize. Plant coming in, takes someone out, can't see who. That's gonna be a top 2 4 6. Maybe SecretX are kind of glad that they didn't get this track, because they got pretty comfortably beaten on it.
I think they're trying as hard as they can. So
yeah, I would assume that it's kind of just at the point where they don't really care. I don't blame them. If you've won, you've won. There's not really much point in sweating your balls off for especially in finals when you've already secured your position in the next match.
Yeah, no reason to kind of wear yourself out. Obviously, you don't want to lose focus and stop trying, but it's good to always have some fun. Gotta remember that.
At the end of the day, sentimental Alex coming out here. At the end of the day, all that really matters is having fun. Don't play this game if you're not having fun, guys. Just all of you watching this right now. If you're feeling stressed about the game, if you're not getting enjoyment from the game, don't play. Like right now, SecretX are trying to keep this fun value. Obviously, everyone wants to have fun. As that old song goes, girls just want to have fun. And we are girls in this situation. Thank you for listening.
Hey, there you go.
What is going on?
Rhys, he's doing some trolling. He's doing some trolling.
Ah, yes. Red shell in 11. Love to see it.
Still pretty good. Items right here.
See, Varo kind of up here, seemingly on his own, takes Toad out though with a snipe directly on the head, only to get hit out himself milliseconds later, and backed immediately. Pretty sure that was Dax's back, completely destroying Varo.
Yeah. We see looks like middle everything. We do see a SecretX member at first. I don't know who though. Maybe Mike, maybe... No, it's Mike, okay.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure I'm seeing Mike up there. We see, well, at least Demon holding a dodge here.
Oh,
but
oh my god. Completely owned.
Varo does steal it. Ideal ghost there. Sketch with a plan. Not exactly sure how much damage that can really do. See a lake glider strat? Motion glider? No, that's boring.
Motion glider's too try hard. Screw motion glider. But yeah, congrats SecretX. We're gonna be getting right into game 3, just kind of right away.
Oh, looks like not a single player broke 100. Not often that you see that.
Yeah.
Very impressive victory from SecretX in this war. Winning by 56, letting it slip in those last 3 races, but obviously, going into race 11, they'd already won. So, not much of a reason to really try from that point onwards. Yeah, definitely a more impressive performance than first match. Obviously, Zealous getting over, I think, about double the point difference in their victory. So, maybe you could argue that both teams are in favorable positions. You could argue that, Zealous got the bigger win, so arguably they should be able to do the same again, more likely. But at the same time, SecretX have the momentum from getting the win in the second match, which obviously Zealous don't have. That's the advantage. That's the main advantage that SecretX have.
Yeah, I've actually just gotten word from Varo. We're going to be starting match 3 at 40 past.
So
okay,
cool.
People have some time, snack, drink, bathroom. I got to use the bathroom.
I gotta find something to eat. I'm starving.
Yeah, so we're going to be taking a quick break. We will be back soon.
See you in a few.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, it is time for the third game between SecretX and Zealous. We just watched SecretX basically repeat the performance that Zealous gave them in Game 1, and both wars turned out to be about equal towards the favor of the other team, except for, the garbage time races. But what matters is we are in a Game 3 situation. Royal, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I hope that this is just kind of like I said last war. I hope it's an average of the 2 wars, so it's close. I don't want to see a blowout.
For sure, yeah. And, I unfortunately didn't get to really see much of the second war, but from what I can tell from the Tobot scores, it seems to be very similar to the first war, just in SecretX's favor instead of Zealous. So they did make the adjustments necessary, and we're going to see if Zealous has any adjustments themselves that they would like to make in order to keep this going and see who will be advancing to the finals. How do you think this Game 3 is going to go?
I don't know. I think it's just the first couple races. Excuse me, the first couple races are really going to decide things here.
Right. And we're going to see how those first races go very shortly. If we could, get a little look at how the rum is going in terms of gathering. We're at a solid 8, so we should be able to get things going relatively soon, hopefully. And I think I'm excited to watch this game now that we know very well that both of these teams are playing at the absolute top of their game. Both were able to take commanding wins over each other. They have both proven themselves capable of making it to this finals, but with SX having the momentum, that is going to be very helpful in terms of actually starting this war off, which we think is going to be the most important part of it.
Yeah, it'd be rather interesting to see if either team decides to make a substitution. I don't think SecretX wants to make any because they kind of just beat ass. So why would they want to change anything? And I don't think Zealous has anybody better sitting on the bench right now. Ryan's left the registry. I think if he was there, you could definitely put him in. Or maybe you can put in Jubak.
Well, that is up to them, and they would know obviously better than we do, because they're in the D1 playoffs and we're here just watching them. But I think I think you're right as to how the first few races are going to really determine the pace of this war. But what we do know about this game is that, if it starts going back and forth at the beginning, then literally anything can happen. So in that scenario, I really think it's going to, boil down to a lot. I think it's going to boil down to the running game, because that's what we've definitely seen be what won the first two wars for each respective team. Especially in the first one with Zealous.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't look like we see anyone new coming in. I don't know, maybe that the default me looking thing. We did just see Mars get online, so it could be Lounge Time avec Mars if you're not interested in watching this. Okay, never mind, no one thought that was funny, okay. Getting into things here. See Varo hosting.
Yeah, Varo hosting the room. Not quite sure what the spots are looking like, but with SX holding down at least first, could potentially mean that they want to start on some sort of runner, and Wild Woods seems to be their choice to Zealous' Bone Dry Dunes. We've seen this before.
Yeah. This is actually, I believe, exactly what we saw on race 2 of the first match.
I do think so. And to kick things off, SX is going to be getting their track pick here, and Wild Woods will be our starting point. We do see... was Brian WH in the second match?
So he's here. Bry White Hedgehog, boys.
What was he in the second match? Because I was only watching the first one.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so that was a sub from last time. But they are starting in 1-3-4, I believe. Yeah, they are. It's going to be up to this Zealous member in second to see if they can get a good early start to this race and this war. Varo just kind of chilling at first at the moment. Not really much to be said about it. That red is threatening, as he has only pulled a coin. But Varo with no fear, unfortunately still messing up the lines though, and that trail is going to land Demon in first place.
So we see Varo, he only has a few coins right here, but he has a shroom, so he's going to be able to take the shortcut. Pretty mixed spots up here. We see Swift. Oh my god, he just owned Bry.
Yeah, that poor kid. But, Rhys able to avoid that bomb thanks to the Ghost. Would probably have hoped to have used that at a later time, but is still able to use the plant to... I'm sorry. Use the plant to take out Swift with his triple greens there, so that's no longer a problem. However, we do see mostly Zealous, if not all Zealous, in front of Rhys here. I'm not quite sure who's in first at the moment, whether or not... Okay, Varo did not hold it down, so this could very well be a top 3 Zealous at the moment, depending on who that person is.
Yeah, it's a top 3.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but it's a top 3. Oh, he got owned.
It is Toad, and now it's a top 4. Okay, it's not a top 4, but...
You see the blue coming in. Might blew him off the glider.
Not quite.
He's able to make it.
No, he's able to make it. Still getting
Greens?
blued.
Oh, this is so tough.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Rhys with incredible evasion skills thus far, and is able to snag those doubles. Not quite the pull he may have been hoping for. And
I think if Rhys is using literally any other combo in the game, he gets it there. But we see SecretX shot coming in. Sketch may be able to get first, but there's just Zealous everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So yeah, that's going to be a pretty mixed race. It's, I think, losing slightly for SecretX, but that 1-3 from Sketch and Bry is definitely going to be helpful in the long run. Gonna have a quick look at the scores, and that is going to be a +2 for Zealous, so close to start things off. We're not getting out to a big opening, which I guess is to no surprise, considering how evenly matched these two teams are and how evenly matched. Well, neither war has been evenly matched, but against the two wars each other, they've been as dominant as one another in War 1 and 2 respectively. So we're going to find out what Bone Dry Dunes has in store for Zealous and see if they can take advantage of this pick, because I do believe that SecretX actually did win this race in Race 1, or in War 1 rather.
It was a pretty chaotic race.
It was, and it came down to a SecretX shock, I believe.
Yeah.
So, whether they're looking to replicate that, or whether they are looking to do a better job of dismantling the top spots, we have Varo here able to land those doubles, and has quite a bit of space to himself, which I'm sure he's happy about, and mostly Zealous members in front of him, so he is not actually going to be able to get that red because of that trail, and kind of stuck in 6. No coins, but these two shrooms, he's going to get up into cut and get right back up there with the pack.
See quite a few SecretX members in the middle here: Sketch, Drac, Brian, Varo.
Yep.
That could be a top 3 for Zealous right here.
I do believe it is, and Varo going to be looking to probably stack these doubles again, which he does. And yeah, I do think you're right that it's a top 3. That Ghost in 6 for Toad is a very good item for him. And Varo very narrowly able to avoid that horn. Great evasion there. And these triple greens are going to maybe do some work, but it's going to be hard for him to actually accomplish anything with them. Neo's the only player that it seems viable to hit at the moment.
Yeah, so top 3, kind of just breaking away right here. Sketch coming up, using a plant, trying to do his best, but won't be able to reach. Player in last, kind of hoping for a shock.
Yeah.
I think he just trailed Mike, and he gets taken out.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Varo, there was really nothing he could have done with that red, and he did have to get rid of it because he does want these triple shrooms out for this ending cut. He's probably looking at 5th place here, or 6th,
Swift just kind
with Bright Witch. Unfortunately, he does fail the shortcut and get passed by 2 or 3 Zealous members, rather.
Yeah,
so
Swift
that's
just
not
kind of
ideal.
Exploded right there.
Right, and that's going to be a top 3, 6, 7.
7.
So Zealous getting out to that early lead that, like we were talking about, and we're going to see if that ends up maintaining, or if SecretX would, have something to say about it. There's been definitely a war of momentum for this entire set, and now that Zealous has it, SecretX has to know that at this point it's more important than ever that they take it right now.
Yeah, and 24 points isn't that big of a lead, but pretty interesting to see. If Zealous gets this Wire Stadium pick, yeah, that's really big for them.
Yeah, that's huge. And if SecretX doesn't have another one of those Frontier moments, then Zealous is looking at a very good position to be in to start this war off. They're going into this Wario Stadium race with a lot of front presence, and that's exactly what you want if you're Zealous, or if you're a Zealous fan in the chat. But we have Varo going wide and getting probably the only item he really could have gotten there, the Shroom in 9th. Trying to make his way up the pack. Very tight pack to start things off, and he's seeing some success with his coin advantage. Unfortunately getting bumped around by all these wigglers, though, and he's going to find himself in about 6th or 7th at the moment. That Nano is unfortunately going to end that, though.
We see quite a few SX members back here.
Alright, and Rhys able to shroom his way into 2nd with Mike holding it down in 3rd. Swift with kind of a lead right now, and that's an incredible smart bounce by Demon there. Not quite sure what happened to Mike, but what we do know is that Zealous is currently holding that top 3, maybe even that top 4. Varo with the shock is huge, though.
It's going to be really good. They can shock after the glider, maybe?
Yeah.
After the boxes.
Neo's got to see this, though. Yeah, Neo 100% sees this, and they now know probably exactly what to expect. There is that shock after the last set that we were talking about, and Rhys now with the blue shell is going to be throwing it out there towards that Zealous member. Varo making his way up the pack with this bill would probably want to pop it sooner than later because the threat from the plant is holding it, though. And now that Bri has popped his plant,
yeah,
he uses it to eliminate the threat of that red that was going for him. Toad, I think, has first secured, though, with those 2 shrooms in first, with the break that he has.
If Varo gets a red here...
Does land the doubles, but does unfortunately only pull a Nana and a Horn. So it's looking like a 2-3 for SecretX, so long as Bri held that spot, which he did. And we're going to have to see what the rest of this pack looks like.
We are seeing Mike in last. Oh, it looks like he was able to beat someone. So that's a pretty good race for Zealous. They got 1, 4, 5, 6.
And they're going to be taking a slight win there. And looking to, as we've been saying, carry that momentum, because they're at the point right now where slight wins, if they can just get slight win after slight win after slight win, that'll be huge for them. And now that they're up by 32 after, I believe, 3 races, things are starting to look good. But like we said, it's only been 3 races, so anything can still happen in that amount of time for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. This is kind of something that we saw in the first match. Zealous kind of starting to break away.
I like the Global Volcano pick from SecretX, though. I personally am an enjoyer of this track. What do you think of it?
I like it for Mogi. I like to pick it when I'm in second or third.
Mm-hmm. Not quite a 6v6 track, you think, though?
I just haven't really gotten the opportunity to pick it.
Right. Toad very lucky to be pulling that Nana in first. However, Varo with a very clean draft, able to get a trail of his own up into that spot. I believe that was Sketch in second, if I'm not wrong. Maybe that's third. Yeah, no, we're looking at a top 3 from SecretX at the moment. So Sketch and Varo are going to have to do something about their trails. Rhys unfortunately getting redded out, and that's going to lead the way for a couple of Zealous members to make their way into top spots. And we're going to see that. Yeah, that's about what to be expected from that double. Pretty lucky pull for Rhys. Unfortunately getting farmed back here.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to back up a little bit, get some coins, get a good item. I think that's a pretty good strategy right here.
I agree, and now with this sort of lead that Varo's establishing, we're not quite sure if Sketch has been able to hold down second. Assuming he has, then SecretX is sitting pretty comfortably right now. However, that blue shell is going to change some things. And, yep, Sketch is going to make his way into first. Unfortunately, Varo sitting in here defenseless thanks to that ghost and him using this coin after the blue. That red will be skipping Dax, and now Dax and Toad have made their way into second and third, putting this pressure on for Sketch.
We do see Rhys with the shock.
Yeah, very important shock for Rhys, and very important shock for SecretX, able to, I believe, get Sketch into set.
Yeah, and that could be a bottom 3 for Zealous. It looked like a couple of them kind of fell off. Plus ratio.
Right. And
box. Oh, that's so good.
That's such a good pull from Rhys, and thanks to this ghost, he's going to be able to make his way through the rest of this race, most likely completely unscathed. Like, the fire's coming here, that's no longer a threat. Blue's no longer a threat. This ending might be a little weird. That's a nice back onto Neo, and that was a perfect ghost.
Yeah, that was.
He would have trailed
my
Sketch.
God! Wait, did they just get 2 through 7?
They may have.
Oh,
yeah, they just got 2 through 7. And that is exactly that is an incredible race for SX there. They are able to snatch that momentum right away, and we're going to see if they're going to be able to do anything with it this time around.
Yeah, just want to give a quick shout out to Thomas for the raid. Appreciate that. I'm assuming that means Frenzy won 2-0 over Bree, so
I do believe that you are correct.
So the finals.
Frenzy has secured one spot in the finals, and I'm sure that all of their team are now watching and patiently waiting to see which of these two teams, SecretX and Zealous, that they are going to be going for that title against. Currently the world champions of Mario Kart, sitting, waiting, and seeing if they can repeat the performance that they had in Worlds last month.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty interesting pick here, considering neither Mike nor Rhys was in first.
They are still both here, though, and Varo, trying to make his way up here, getting these unfortunate bumps, but Bri WH holding down that first. Okay, not anymore. He's not anymore. Toad able to reclaim it from him. Varo, unfortunately, struggling in this pack. Gonna land the single and get triple shrooms, which is about to be expected, I would say.
Pretty good. Oh, it looks like he is unfortunately getting redded.
Yeah, and both of his boxes are going to be taken from him.
Yeah, he's in a pretty tough spot, he only has a couple coins, no item.
Yeah.
I think he should stop with the double right here, excuse me.
I would agree. We're going to see what Rhys does, however, in 9th tier with the shroom, and also struggling just as hard to pay that rent.
That's a good one. Looks like quite a few SX members are back here, but again, there's some Zealous members back here too. We see Dash and Swift. There was maybe Neo. I can't remember who it was. Yeah. But we see Bri, Drac, Rhys, and Varo.
That star is going to be good for Rhys, considering what items may potentially be pulled in the back. This is a very shock-heavy track, though. So this star is just good for, general safety in a chaotic pack. And this fire going to be going for Swift, and it's going to connect, so well done by Rhys there. Going to be, unfortunately, getting trailed by Swift there. Getting his revenge after that fire, and unfortunately going to be stuck here in 11th. A lot of bottle spots from SecretX here. And yeah, that's a 1-3-4 for Zealous.
It's a pretty good race for them.
Yeah, just as fast as SecretX was able to bring the momentum back with that 2-7, Zealous has instantly snatched it away and looking to running away with this lead even more than they were able to the first time.
Yeah, so this is definitely what we were kind of looking for right here, having a very close match 3. It's a lot more interesting.
Now, SecretX is putting their hopes into Excite Bike Arena. There are quite a few lounge players on SecretX, but we're going to see if they can all band together under their track in this 6v6 environment.
Love Ekiba, dude. Hell yeah. Bat chest. So this is a pretty neutral track altogether. You can run it, you can bag it. Would be interesting to see what they decide to do here, whether they decide to go for shock or just run.
Right.
Looks like most people are going to run. Maybe 1 or 2 players from each team is going to stop right here.
Yeah.
The first set.
Are anti-strats a thing on Inward, or does Rhys just not do them?
No. I think he should be able to do some of them depending on like the layout of the ramps, but
yeah, it doesn't seem like it'd be too entirely different because you're not, with it. It might even seem like it might be easier to get like a couple of smaller MT type things with the way Inward drifts. just doing it the old-fashioned way, just kind of tricking off everything, though. And it's working. He's maintaining first. There's some MTs, but...
Yeah, and this ramp layout kind of doesn't really allow for you to do that many MTs, so just tricking off things is probably going to be the way to go, like on these ramps right here, especially with inward. Maybe with outward you could do one or two, but we do see a top two here. SecretX has to be careful of this green.
Yeah.
Be Rhys and Drac up here.
That's that Zealous member in third. That's going to be, I think, Damn it was. It might have been Demon, but it was Demon? Okay. But yeah, going to be putting the pressure on right there. He is very, very close to Drac at the moment. Varo with the star, looking to maybe dismantle a couple of these mid spots that SecretX has. Unfortunately, not able to get much done, and Demon and Neo have made their way into second and third.
Yeah, Demon was barely able to take a shortcut right here. This could be a 2-3 for Zealous with Demon and Swift.
Yeah, and Varo unfortunately getting hit by that fire, and also unfortunately boomeranging Sketch, getting towed in the process, and it also does look like Sketch actually did lag out of it.
Swift. Oh, he does get Swift.
Isn't able to land on Swift, but does get redded, and that's going to be a third place for Swift. I would assume that Rhys held down first. He did not. Demon took first. And that's going to be a very good race for Zealous.
That was a pretty chaotic ending right there.
And we've got another raid coming in. Thank you, YZ. As we have just wrapped up the first GP of this... Or we've wrapped up the first half, rather, of this last match between these two teams. And going into the halfway mark, Zealous is leading by 20.
For those of you who are just joining us, this is Game 3. Game 1, Zealous beat ass. Game 2, SecretX beat ass. Game 3, they're definitely a lot more even.
Closer than the first two games were, however, Zealous does have the lead and the momentum, which has proved to be the most important thing in this set up to this point. Now, with only 6 more races to play, we're going to see what SecretX's response is, and it looks like their response is having Mike bump Varo into last.
Yeah, we do see... we see Swift getting rid of out right here.
Rhys able to draft his way into 4th, but does get bumped out.
Yeah, it looks like SX able to find their way into the front. We see Brian Rhys right here.
Yeah.
Fortunately, only has a couple coins. Toad getting taken out.
Yeah. You mentioned SX being able to find their way into the front, and I think that's really what's helped them keep these matches closer, because that is definitely the thing they were struggling to do in the first game. Damn, however, doing absolute work on the entirety of the SecretX squad, and also Demon.
Yeah, has to be careful.
Yeah. Was definitely able to get a lot of SecretX members out there early on. And then he's just going to get it done right back to him by Rhys here. YWH holding down first for the time being. And we are going to see Zealous in 2-3. Rhys is going to have to be careful with this trail, but so is Swift. Okay, Damn is holding it back, letting Demon pass. And now Varo up here in 7th with this red and triple shrooms.
This looks really good for SecretX.
It does. Especially with Dame getting taken out there. This is... SecretX is holding down really, really good spots right now, and potentially someone in the back to mitigate any funny lightning bolts.
Yeah, has to be careful of this green from Mike.
Mike does get rid of it. It goes off the track, so that's good. And Varo backing that fire because there's only Zealous in sight behind him, holding these triple shrooms and also triple greens. A lot of Zealous members in stars right now. They do end though.
Yep, he decides to go wide. Oh, but Toad has triple greens and he gets taken out. That's so tough. He got hit through every single one. That's actually tough.
Yeah. And now there's quite a few SecretX back here. Jack's still in last. And Rhys looking to maybe pass a couple of these guys at the end here and is able to get by 2 of them. So that's pretty solid. And I do think that's a pretty good win for SX. It is. That's a top 3, 6, 8. Varo unfortunately getting last.
For holding down that first place.
Shout out to Bri, but to the entirety of SX, able to bring this right back to where they want it to be. Now we're looking at a much closer war. We're looking at a down 10 situation for SecretX. And with 5 races left to play, there is plenty of time for either one of these teams to make something happen.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens right here. SecretX kind of thinking of what track to go for. PPS, it's a really good one.
I would agree with that pick. And the N64 Rainbow Road, we have seen work out for Zealous in their favor. In the first war, they were able to bring home a pretty solid race there. Or rather, it was a win. I don't remember if it was a solid one, but it definitely was a win, nonetheless. And now that we are playing it once again, we're going to be having a look at how the people in the bottom spots do manage it, as this is ideal for them, especially Varo here in last. A lot of love for Varo in the chat.
Yeah, so pretty interesting start right here. We see Varo able to get a shroom, quite a few shrooms back here. See Dax having one, Neo, not quite sure who that was right ahead of him.
Varo able to drive past a lot of SecretX members, making his way into 9th, and probably looking to also increase his coin count if possible. Still holding this shroom probably for if something bad were to happen to him. This pack in front of him is insane though. And is going to be able to get by a couple more members, make his way into 3rd. Now looking like a 1-3 for Zealous, or for SecretX rather, I'm sorry. And Varo looking like he just wants to play it safe, not trying to do anything fancy, with this trail from Demon, you know, posing a threat to him.
Yeah.
But now with his horn, he has the potential to actually make a move this time. We do have Zealous in 2 and 4. I do think Varo horned a Zealous member there, but no, he did not. And that fire is going to be big.
Has to be careful with Demon. I think he connected with him, and so that's.
I think that's a 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, somebody just got absolutely farmed, and that is going to be that is going to that's going to be a 1-4 for SecretX, but that's going to be a 2, 3, 5, 6 for Zealous, and the bottom spots are not looking to be in SecretX's favor. So Zealous, I think, is going to be extending their lead by a small amount, whether it's by 2 or 4, maybe even just a tie.
Yeah, waiting to get the scores in right here.
And it is going to be a +6 for Zealous, so they will be extending their lead to 16 with 1 GP left to play. Primetime slide coming right back out for SecretX, whether it be a winning race or a losing race, and Zealous are opting for Dolphin Shoals, which I think is the best track that they could possibly pick, with given their spots.
Yeah, Dolphin Shoals coming out here, definitely a good track for all spots. You know, as we said before, you can run, you can bag it. It'll be interesting to see. So we see Varo, looks like he's going to decide to bag. You know, he doesn't really have any coins. There's quite a few Zealous members back
hopefully be getting a few more here. A lot of Zealous members back there. And Rhys, we can have a look at, kind of just stuck in the mid-pack right now. Unfortunately, pulling triple nanos on top of Mike and is going to trail him. And still just kind of at a modest coin count, trying to actually be able to make a move eventually at some point in the race. Triple nanos not quite ideal, but he is surrounded by Zealous members, and he is going to try and get one off on Dax. Not going to quite happen yet, though.
So I think, yeah, we're going to see quite a few SecretX members in the middle right here. And then see some Zealous members. We see a blue coming out from the side of SecretX. It's going to be interesting to see whether they hold this or not.
They are holding it, which tells us that we currently have a SecretX member in first. Who that may be, we are not sure at the moment. It could be... Oh, it's Drac. It's Drac. Actually, no, it's not. Drac is in second. So it's actually a top 2-4 for SecretX at the moment. And it could be Bry. I think it's Bry. I think that's the only person I haven't seen yet. So we've got Bry WH holding down first. And Dax getting redded, but does have defense. Unfortunately for Rhys, messing up his line and getting starred.
Yeah, accidentally hits the wall, and that'll cost him. We're throwing fire to bomb. Okay. You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Right,
No shot coming out here, and it looks like a bottom 3.
Yeah. It also does look... Maybe... Was that blue ever thrown? Okay, the blue did just get thrown, so we're gonna assume that Bry WH was able to hold down first. So despite this bottom 3, the damage is slightly being mitigated. We're gonna have a look at what the rest of their top spots are looking like, though. Rhys doing a little trolling.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do a little trolling.
It's gonna be a top 2-4, so that's actually a winning race for SecretX. Albeit only a +4, I believe, but still a winning race in their favor, and they are going to be looking to shrink this lead and potentially even turn it into their own over the course of this last GP.
Yeah, so it looks like this one is going to come down to the wire right here.
Going right back to that PPS pick. They've been trying to get this for almost half the war at this point, whereas Zealous kind of getting lucky with the track picks, I'm going to be honest. And we're going to see if that streak continues, whether or not they will be able to land themselves on Twisted Mansion once again.
Yeah, only a 14-point differential separating these two teams right here. All of that and more can be done in one race.
Yeah. Ever since SecretX decided to try picking RPPS, their track luck has been absolutely down compared to what it was before. They've been trying to pick it for, I believe, 4 races now, and it has just not been given to them. It's Twisted Mansion going to be coming out for Zealous, and hopefully they'll be able to make a move here.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this track just so many times today.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he
know.
doesn't get a box. It's pretty unlucky right there.
I was looking into the Frenzy versus Joe Messiah match, and the one race I did see was also on Twisted Mansion, so I feel like I've seen this track just so many times today. You know, Rhys starting in the back there, he is the world record holder, however, that is on 200cc, so not really too much of a factor.
Yeah, that's party mode.
Yeah. Gonna see
Oh my
that
god.
great bomb from that Zealous member.
Yeah,
that
the
is in
jackpot bomb from Demon.
first. Right.
We see Varo here in 8th, just a single green. Getting a box right there is pretty tough.
Yeah. Triple Shrooms is solid, though, and he's going to be able to make his way through the cut. Going to try and land one on Neo, however, that red is going to cancel that out. And Varo doing a great job of making his way up the pack, now making his way into 4th, and we see a top 3 from Zealous up here. That's strong. That is threatening.
Yeah, Toad just kind of... Oh my god, these items are so good. He gets a red as well. Unfortunately for Varo, he doesn't have anything to
Be able to
try and
comfortably
hit.
pass him.
Yeah. Oh my
And
god,
that's a
he
great
got
back by
bumped.
Swift there. Now it's up to Mike to see if he can do anything about this top 3. Those triple streams are going to be good. However, I think he's just going to end up getting hit out by Zealous again. Yeah, he's going to end up in front of Toad.
Yeah, Toad gets rid of the green. Oh my god, and he
And
pulls
that's a great
another horn. Dude, Toad is just a one-man army right now.
Yeah, doing a great job of protecting his entire team at the moment. And there may be a lot of Zealous members back here, but there's even more up in the front, and that's what's important right now. We do see a lot of them in the middle and a lot of them in the back. So maybe SecretX was able to do something off screen that we didn't watch, but
Is he gonna try? Oh,
I don't think that worked.
Okay. Yeah,
He's still able to get
was a good
six.
idea. That was a good idea.
It was a good idea, unfortunately not quite going to plan, and that will still be a top 2 5-7 for Zealous.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a really even race.
Yeah, a slight win for Zealous, though, so I think they're going to be increasing their lead to about somewhere in the 20s.
still not uncomebackable. I don't even know. Not impossible, but it's hard. They need a good race right here.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And with now 2 races to play and 20 points to make up, they're gonna have to get going. And if they can land this Moo Moo Meadows pick, then that'll be a great start for them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, now I'm convinced it's just a Piranha Plant slide thing, because they picked that track 4 races in a row, didn't get it once, and the first time they go something different, they immediately land on Moo Moo Meadows. It's gotta be a Piranha Plant slide thing. But SecretX looking to try and bring this back in their favor, whether, whether they're able to do it with a dominant race or whether they're able to do it with 2 solid wins. And, both of the last 2 wars were over after 10, so to see it this close after 10 race definitely shows that both teams are as evenly matched as we thought and are, making the adjustments necessary throughout this entire best-of-3 set. Such a grueling format to play through.
Best-of-3 is real hard, and we see Rhys doing some trolling. Gets triple shrooms, which is so good. Tries to snipe Dam, doesn't connect. Looks like he drives into a cow.
Right. Probably was looking to take that shortcut on the left there, but due to unfortunate cow tipping, not quite able to pull that off. Varo in the back here, not currently holding too many coins to his name, getting more slowly though. So that's nice, and is gonna be able to land triple shrooms, which is a great item on this track. But with a track like Moo Moo Meadows and it being as hard to catch up on as it is, not really much is gonna be happening. So it's gonna
kind of tough. Oh.
We were not able to really get that good of a view of what happened in the front that race, but there is a lot of SecretX back here, and that's a bad sign.
So many people just exploded on the line.
Yeah, that's a 1-3-4-7 for Zealous. That is going to be a slight win in their favor, and now the pressure's on for SecretX because they're going to have to put together a fantastic race if they want to bring this home. Otherwise, Zealous is going to be meeting Frenzy in the finals.
Yeah. Really coming down to the wire here. Definitely.
Yeah. 26 points.
See, right?
What's that?
Definitely what you want to see.
Yeah, for sure. And with a 26-point hill to climb in just one race, they're looking at a top 4 with 2 good spots, a top 5 or something even better than that. But they do think the Toad's Trumping is going to be where that happens, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. They are going to land that track, though, so it was definitely a Piranha Plant slide thing, just not being able to get that one specific track.
I don't know, man. I think they can do it on this track. They have done it before. It's just
they have.
When Varo's heart rate was like 190.
190, yeah.
Dude.
And now that we're watching Varo, we can only hope that it's not nearly that bad once again, just for his own safety. But I mean, SecretX is definitely shown that they are a team capable of comebacks like this. If they were able to do it on Warrior Stadium of all tracks, then they can definitely pull something like this off on Toad's Turnpike.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Varo back here. Needs to find a job application, get his coins up.
Yeah.
Pretty good pull right there in the star.
Yeah. And pretty standard Ghost Steal there in the banana. Unfortunately, having to slow down for that truck there. But just kind of trying to figure out what the tone for this race is going to be. Feeling out the back, seeing what the Zealous members are thinking at the moment. And that's a great back from Toad, which is going to leave Zealous in top 3, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty tough spot for SecretX to be in, especially Rhys. No coins.
Yeah. Let's have a look. It's going to be stealing a shroom. Going to end up with 4 of them here. Kind of struggling to get anything done back here. I think the same story is applying to Varo at the moment. It's looking very hard for both of these teams to pull shock, but you know what? Zealous is okay with that because they don't need a shock to pull this race out.
Yeah, Toad and Neo in top 2 are just kind of chilling, right? Like nothing's bothering them right now.
Yeah.
No blue, and I
Not
don't
even a
think
blue.
there's a
Yeah.
shock. Yeah.
Yeah. If there was a
There
shock,
is,
I
like,
think
they
it
gotta
would have
go
happened
like
by now.
now. They have to use it like yesterday.
Yeah.
That's gonna be GG.
Yeah, I think. Unless something miraculous happened off screen that we're not aware of, then I do believe that this is going to be Zealous's. This is going to be Zealous's race. This is going to be a top 4. And yeah, that's going to be it. Zealous is going to be meeting Frenzy in the Mario Kart Universal Finals for D1. Congratulations to them for sure.
Yeah, so it looks like their tanking strategy did work out. Barely.
Yeah. By the skin of their teeth, but
race.
Yeah. Toad, an incredible shout out to Toad and Demon with the 118 and the 107 respectively, able to hold it down for their team as they will now they're keeping their playoff run alive. And we're gonna see if they're able to keep things going throughout the rest of the playoffs next week. At the same time next week, they're going to be playing Frenzy.
Yeah, we will be back next week, same time, 2 o'clock Eastern.
How did those regular season matches go between Zealous and Frenzy? I'm curious.
I actually don't know. Let me check real quick.
Alright. But once again, just congratulations to Zealous and also to SecretX for just making the D1 playoffs in the first place, because as we were mentioning, to do that, it takes one hell of a team with so many talented players, so there's absolutely no way to discredit what SecretX accomplished here. And they were able to bring Zealous to literally the last race, and while Zealous was able to get away with it, they were absolutely putting up a fight the whole way through, so big shout out to them, and obviously, you know, bigger shout out to Zealous for actually winning.
So I just took a look. Zealous beat Frenzy by like 10 or so points.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was before.
Yeah, that was regular
Worlds
season
and whatever.
Yeah, that was regular season. That was, you know, before Frenzy had started to come into their own and, you know, win the Mario Kart Worlds. But
yeah,
there's only one way to find out what's actually going to happen next week, and that is to, you know, wait for next week and see how the things go between these 2 teams. So I think that's going to be just about it for us, right? Anything we're missing?
That's it.
Yeah, so D1 finals for MKU at the same time next week, 200L finals on Saturday at the same time as well. But I'm sure what you guys are really looking forward to is, you know, what's happening at the same time next week between the team we just watched, Zealous, and Frenzy. So we will see you guys then. Thanks for watching, everyone.